officials are reporting this new Doritos mix is responsible for the worldwide slowdown. This new Doritos mix is responsible for the worldwide slowdown. New Doritos mix, 4 snacks in 1.
Prove it wrestling with me, the chicken's up. Definitely, but they're going over it anyway. Right. Heavy's in the neighborhood. He doesn't have his chain cross yet. Q-word to get the hex off. He's got Mel's got.
Heyo. What's up? Heyo. All right. Heyo. What's up? Heyo. Hey. Hey. All right. Let's see here. So this is a painting I've been working on for my my Dungeons and Dragons group, and I've already kind of laid down my basic shapes and kind of worked out some of the values a little bit. Admittedly, it's still a little bit rougher than I normally want, but considering this isn't a commission, I'm not getting paid for this. I thought I'd go ahead and start getting a little ahead of myself. And I'm going to start laying down some color. Just because I feel like it. I'm gonna change up my brush here, and these are new brushes, like a whole new brush set. Like I got this from Dave Raposa, who's like a total. He's my man crush. Like he's just. I was just watching his stream. He's just such an inspiration to me. So I really try to learn a lot more about how he does stuff, and like what his methods are, so that way I can kind of start to incorporate them and adopt those and just see what works for me and what doesn't. Because I don't know, it's good as an artist to always see what other people are doing, not because you necessarily want to copy what they're doing, but because you never know when they're gonna like drop something like you never thought about, or like you find a way to do what they're doing but better. Or maybe not necessarily better, but something that works for you better. So I have like this is water down here. I haven't even begun to really do anything with that yet. I'm gonna give it kind of like a steely blue color. Just to kind of like, the whole thing needs to feel very like I want it to be kind of like a mix between like Dark Souls and Alcatraz. So I'm just going to lay down some real basic colors. They're going to be real desaturated. Not much to them. It's just to kind of start giving a little bit of body. Just a little bit of body to the image, so I can start to like work up from here and start to render it out when I'm done here, and make it start to feel more like a place. I think even that might have been a little oversaturated, as sad as that sounds. I really just, those rocks need to be just very lifeless. So I'm just gonna, oops. So I'm just gonna start with these really like primitive, super basic colors. And then for the sky, like I really want it to be, actually I want to do the sky a little differently. Really just, you know, with it, because its colors are going to be so, see if we do it like, even if we do it normal, its colors are going to be very very discreet. But then we're gonna try to warm it up just a little bit here on this band. We're going to take this and we're going to color dodge. And with color dodge, that's going to start to brighten it up naturally a little bit. And what we want to do now is to start suggesting that it's going to, and so you notice there's that red band, and that's where the purple and the gold, when it's in the color dodge, that's what you're going to get out of it, is it's going to start to burn out that color, and the difference there is going to be that orange. And so now if I go back to normal, I'm going to go to purple. I'm going to go with a real dark purple. I'm going to drop my opacity down a lot. I'm just going to come across here and I'm just going to start to create like a skybox. Now already, because of the work I did earlier, multiply it out. We're just gonna do a little bit here on the edges, because the work I did earlier, we already kind of know a little bit about what these shadows are gonna do, but we're probably gonna have to go back and tease them a little bit. So that way, you know, they fall a little bit better towards what we're looking at with the sun. They're not bad as they are, but if you look at like that shadow, and this shadow, they're kind of all in it for themselves. That shadow needs to fall a little bit wider than these two because of the sun rays. But first I don't know, I'm really good at like starting to go too far too fast with art and the ladies. No, I'm good at doing that and kind of like screwing myself over a little bit. And what that'll end up doing is that I'll get so excited about this one thing that I'm doing. That was too much. That's pretty good. This one thing that I'm doing, and I'll render something out like the sky here. I'll start to like do stuff with that, and then I'll lose focus of what I actually need to be doing. But I do kind of want to establish this mood here a little bit. Because sometimes, like, when I get into a picture, like, I'll forget, like, the feeling or the tone. And so I've learned to kind of, over the years, set the tone for myself by painting it in and giving myself like these little visual cues, and then that kind of lets me remember, I guess, a little bit better later on down the line. Alright, so that's good enough for that for right now. So like over here, like now I'm immediately noticing like this needs to have some of that purple in it. It needs to be a little bit darker than that. Oh, I'm still in color dodge, no wonder. Oh, I'm a big dummy. There we go. It's so muddy. It's so muddy. Let's go back to, let's get a more square brush. Or something with a little bit of edge. This might work. I'm using a bracer still. Oh my gosh, Dave, get it together. I know, it's getting late. Alright, that will probably work. So we're going to take this purple. We're going to start to wash a little bit over some of the areas that are going to be affected more by the sun. It's going to get a little bit more facing sun. But I think that purple is going to be kind of like our primary shadow color. So we're going to kind of need to play with how much purple we want in this picture. Because that's like another thing, while like in this case here, like the lighting is pretty much, we know what color the light is going to be because the only light we're really getting is the sunlight. We're going to get some torches going here. You have to be careful that you don't over color, because it's still like a work of art. It's still, I mean, it still has to look pleasing, and if you make it too monochromatic, a lot of times you tend to kind of write yourself into a corner, so to speak, and it becomes that story of the color purple or whatever it is that you're doing. This is my first ever live stream, and I don't think I'm even doing it right. This is my first ever live stream, and I don't think I'm even doing it right. Oops, I accidentally hit play on the... I was trying to do something else. Hit play on the live stream, so I started watching myself. I guess someone's got to watch me, right? but I'm not going to take too much time tonight to do this, just because I got a trip to Savannah in the morning. But first I got to go get my oil change done, all that fun stuff, so there's plenty of work for me to do before I hit the road for a couple hours. I really love Savannah though. So I'm just kind of trying to reinforce some of the structure there, and you know, just try to make it look a little bit more like something's going on. Give it some teeth, so that way when I come back through later on, you know, with a fresh set of eyes, I'll be like, oh hey, look, here's this, that, and the other. I can start to see something a little bit better. But and again, if I was trying to if this was like a client piece, I would be doing this way different. But this is me just kind of like playing around, seeing what I'm doing well at, what I suck at. This just gives me a little bit of time to reflect on what I'm doing as an artist, what I'm doing right and wrong. Mostly what I'm doing wrong. So, what, alright, so now that I've gotten that base purple down, I want to have a little bit of fun, and I want to kind of add some of that yellow light in, and just kind of see what it does for like a little bit of a highlight. I want to see what kind of like images what shapes are going to push forward and which ones are not. I'm not really trying to highlight. I'm just kind of I'm working up the values a little bit here and there. I know it's like skipping ahead by going to color for that, but again, like if this was a client piece, this is not the way I would do it. You know, this is just for me. This is for my D&D group. This is just something to give them something to look at, something to, you know, goof around with, so they get an idea of what they're playing and what they're doing. And this gives me the chance to kind of test where I'm at as an artist right now, so I don't have to do it on a client piece. Someone popped in the room there for a minute. They're probably like, oh, this guy sucks. Boring. Which I don't blame him. I mean, it's late and I'm not really feeling at my high energy levels, and watching some dude dick around with a Photoshop painting is not exactly super engaging or exciting or whatever. But this is what I do. I'm very fortunate though to get like clients doing this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't do this as much. I do a lot of t-shirt designs and a lot of You know, like somebody needs, like I get a lot of times where people, they have like a game that they're trying to get on Kickstarter and they need like a manual laid out, or they need like a logo designed or something like that. I get a lot of that. I wouldn't say a lot. Well, I get plenty of that. I get some of that. I get that. And when that comes my way, that's fun. But I do like painting, and so I want to try to like use this time to paint more, so that way I can get better and get more jobs, and you know, regarding this, and hopefully as well, like maybe create a little community and people can like, we can all kind of like help each other out. I think that would be the coolest part of it all, honestly. I know it sounds kind of like hokey and old school or whatever, and like kind of Boy Scouty, but like that's the truth for me. Like I'd rather oh crap, here we go. I'd rather kind of like get the benefit out of it up front where everyone can use it, rather than like try to make this into something where I'm getting subscribers and all that kind of stuff. That just seems silly for what I want, you know. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be stirring up the crowd tonight, but it's a Friday night, so hopefully everyone's out partying or getting late or whatever. The both. Yeah, well, I think this gives me a good like a good starting point for rendering, you know, coming back through and making you know, something for me to paint over and really get something strong, because like right now the clouds are super loose, the foreground is super boring. You know, I want to put in some objects or some details into the crack work here, and you know, kind of give the players something to look at that'll be more fun. But this is my very first ever live stream, so I really wanted to just kind of use this as a test run, see if it was even working. But yeah, well, if you watch this at one point or another, you know, I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get a better time where we can actually get some people here watching and participating and stuff like that, because I would really enjoy that a lot. Anyway, thanks so much for watching.